welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. Almost got me napping there. The Confederation of North Central American Caribbean Association Football, CONCACAF, will this evening open a new office in Kingston, Jamaica. The CONCACAF president, Victor Montagliani, will be speaking at the official ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new office. Montagliani is no stranger to the SportsMax Zone, and he has popped in to have a chat with us before attending the ceremony, and he joins us on set now. Mr. President, welcome. Good to have you.
Pleasure to be here.
Good. Let's start with the main reason you are here in Jamaica. New offices for CONCACAF in this part of the, I almost said kingdom, but the territory that you and your team cover. What's the significance of establishing this new office with staff here in Jamaica?
Yeah, it's sort of the rollout of our One CONCACAF vision. I think it's very important that we have boots on the ground, that an office that it's not only in the Caribbean, but for the Caribbean and by the Caribbean. So it'll be staffed by people in the Caribbean, following the linguistic lines of the Caribbean as well, French, Spanish, Dutch, obviously English. And we're doing the same in Guatemala as well for Central America. So I think it's important from a business perspective. I think CONCACAF for too long has been run other than from a business perspective. And to service the members better on the development side and on the operational side, I think it's important that we have a presence in the region, and hence the decision to have offices both in Guatemala from a Central American perspective and in the Caribbean right here in Jamaica.
Many people will look at people who are familiar with different management practices and styles will say, well, perhaps it is that centralization of responsibilities, functions, authority and power works in some respects. So if you had an office in, say, New York or somewhere else in the USA or in Canada, it could work for territories in the Caribbean. Are you looking to change the old way of thinking where CONCACAF is concerned, how they run business, and devolve power right across the territory so people in various parts of the region can feel important, feel as if they are part of the project?
Yeah, listen, as a president of CONCACAF, my fiduciary duty is to the member associations.
Yes.
The JFF, Barbados Association, and that's really the line of governance where you see it. And if we don't have to look far. The confederation that is the model confederation is UEFA, and they've for a while now they've come together as 54. They've aggregated their assets. They've aggregated a lot of things, and that works really well for them. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel. What we need to do is put in some sound business practices. It's basic economics, and it works in the football world.
Before we look ahead, let's go back a little bit, because I know the headquarters in Miami, the Miami, Florida headquarters of CONCACAF. Was there an office in New York as well? Does that still exist, and what?
No, so there was an office years gone by, but we had a smaller version of the office, but that lease has gone up. We're not renewing it, and so we will no longer have that presence there. Our headquarters are going to be in Miami, then Jamaica, and then Guatemala.
The Guatemala office was already opened?
It was an UNCAF office, and so what we've done is we transitioned it over to a CONCACAF office, using a lot of the same people, but also building that out as a platform as well.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit more about that One Caribbean label that you've given, because it's sort of the mandate now for what CONCACAF represents. Compare that mindset to what existed before, and how do you expect it to benefit the entire CONCACAF region?
Yeah, it's a One CONCACAF vision. So I think for too long we've basically had a mindset of 31, 7, and 3. 31 Caribbean nations and 7 Central American and 3 North American, and that just doesn't work. Adding those numbers up never adds up to 1. And so the reality is that when I ran on this vision of One CONCACAF, 41 members, 41 partners, because it is a business. We are partners in the business. Obviously our members have not only bought into that mandate, but are now living and breathing it.
Yeah. When we spoke to you on Skype a few months ago, when you were newer in your job, you spoke of some of the things that the region can look forward to with regard to changing the face of CONCACAF and adjusting some of the approaches you've had before. One of them in increasing the number of teams in the Gold Cup from 12 to 16,
Correct.
Starting 2019?
Correct.
And that's still on track?
That's still on track. It will happen. And obviously it was a little too late to try to do it for 2017, but that's still on track. But we also have relooked at the entire competition structure. I think we need to really have a look where all our members have an opportunity to play a consistent amount of games over a 4-year period. Well, you have too many inconsistencies where you have teams that play 40 games in a 4-year period, which is the max you can play, and then you have others that play 3. You're just not going to develop a confederation. And at the end of the day, we need, if you look at, again, other confederations, we need our own Icelands, we need our own Wales, and I think we have them here from a talent perspective. We just got to get the economics and the business model right so that we can float the boats.
And I'm pretty certain that the affiliates have welcomed that move.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You're going to be, we were thankful that you're going to be with us for a little bit. So there are other issues concerning expansion that we will come to later. But let me ask you before we take this break, the idea of putting football back at the Central Football Administration in the region. You're at the phase of your leadership, which I'm calling the missionary phase, going out to meet the partners that you have that you're going to depend on. When you meet with them and you give them, you say that to them about the vision of putting football back at the Central Football Administration in the region. What precisely do you mean?
Well, I think when you have a decision to make, whether you're the president of CONCACAF or you're the president of any member association or you're an administrator, that every decision that has to be made has to be in relation to, is this the best thing for football, first and foremost? Not for any other interest group or any other stakeholder, but football first. And so I actually, I've traveled extensively over the last 9 months, and even before that, and it is obvious to me that not only is that taking hold, but even in places where it may have been stagnated, there's a new breath. And I'm actually very pleased with respect to the focus of a lot of the member associations in the Caribbean in terms of looking at football first and sort of getting on with it, really, to be quite frank.
There you go. Victor Montagliani, the CONCACAF president, he's still with us. Well, he'll be with us after the break. And we take that break now. We'll come back with much more.